So in every automation testing, okay, the locating the element in a web page is the core concept, important concept. Okay, core concept means in important concepts. With that we should have that knowledge we should have. Okay, so if we call it as core Java is necessary for Selenium. Okay, in core Java we have some core concepts. In Java we have some core concepts, important concepts. Those we have to learn mandatorily if you want to use Java. That's why we call it as core Java part. Core concept you have to learn. Okay, the polymorphism, collections, exception handling, IO streams. These are the core concepts in Java if you want to use Java language for your Selenium Java. Similarly, in Selenium, we have one concept, identification of objects or identification of elements, identification of web objects, web elements is the core concept. Okay, so before identifying the element, first we have to understand which element represents which object, which web object, UI object. Okay, you have to know. Then only you can identify that element. Okay, with that particular element name. And also, if we have elements, more than one element having the same name, to differentiate, we can also assign properties to that element. Okay, generally HTML developers do that. They will assign some properties. Based on the properties, how we can differentiate, we have to know. Okay, the core concept in automation testing, any automation test tool is identifying the element in a web page. Once you identify that element, you can perform the action. Okay, so before moving to identifying the element, so first you need to know, okay, what type of elements they use to render the web page. Suppose if we take some website, some Flipkart or some Amazon or any website if you take. Okay, what are all the elements they use to render different types of web objects, web options. Okay, first we have to know the background. Then you can easily identify the elements in the UI. Okay, so I have some like settings in my browser. Those I need to remove. Basically, every time it is taking more time to check the those firewall settings. Okay, so let me use Google, Flipkart, or any other. Okay, any other website, any website if you take. Okay, so whatever the data you are seeing in this browser, it is implemented with HTML. The backend code for this web page is HTML. Okay, you have to know. Suppose if they want to put some search, what is the element they use? This drop down, which element they use? All these things you have to know. Then only you can use that element. Okay, so I will create one sample document. Okay, so you can see that document without colors, without images, but at least you can see these input boxes, drop downs, buttons, links, checkboxes, radio buttons. Okay, so like that I will create one web page and I will assign some properties. So through that you will get some basic understanding of HTML. Once you get the basic understand, okay, you can easily identify those elements from UI only, even though it is displaying as some text box or some drop down. Okay, so you can easily identify, okay, it is a select box, it is a input, okay, it is a link, okay, it is also a link, it is a button. Like that you can understand. Okay, so let me start explaining the HTML. So today's concept is HTML and also the other part we will discuss HTML. Okay, hypertext markup language. Okay, hypertext markup language. Okay, so these HTML basically it's a tag based language. Okay, how we are using keywords. Similarly, in HTML, so how we are using keywords in Java. Similarly, in HTML also we have different keywords. Those we call it as tags. Okay, we have some set of tags, predefined keywords. Those we have to use in our HTML language. So like we are creating the class block here, if you want to write HTML code, first we have to start with the HTML keyword. All keywords will be in the smaller letters. Okay, do not forget in every language, all keywords will be in small letters only. Okay, so but here the syntax is if you want to represent, if you want to start writing the HTML, so you have to use open and close angular braces. Okay, left direction and right direction braces. Again, so when we write like class, how we write some class name like this, we will open and close, right? Similarly, if you want to close this statement, you have to use closing like this, which means it is closed. Okay, like we are writing class open and close. Similarly, to represent open and close, we have to write like this. Okay, when you create some HTML tag like this, it will create the HTML document. Okay, if you want to store this, like we are storing as Java, if you want to store the HTML, if you want to store the HTML code, you have to store into the .html file. Okay, let me save as. Okay, on desktop, I'm creating as a demo website. Demo website. Save it. It is stored and it is a, okay, let me store it as, save as. It should be a .html, like .java, it is .html file. Save. See, whenever you saved with HTML, see the colors it is representing the keywords. To identify the keywords, it is representing with blue. So now the page will be created. See, this is the demo HTML. If you want to delete demo.html. Okay. Okay, so this is the file it is created. When you save with .html, when you insert this opening and closing HTML, it creates the HTML document. So if you open it, it opens the HTML plain document. See, nothing is there. Okay, plain document. So here you can insert whatever you want. You want to insert image, you want to insert some like some button, link, list box, select box, reader button, check box. Okay, some table like that. If you want to insert, you can insert anything. Okay, so here there are mainly two sections. Okay, one is for header section. So whatever you see, the horizontal line here, see after this address, okay, so here you can see the horizontal line, right, up to here, horizontal bar. Above one, we call it as header of this browser. Below one, we call it as body of this browser. Okay, so again, if you want to modify something in the header section, what you have to do is you have to use head. Okay, so for each and every block, you will be having a closing block. You have header section. If you want to modify something, suppose by default it is taking the demo.html, this page name as demo.html, but if you look at here, this page is online shopping site. Okay, online shopping site, the tab name is it is taking as online shopping site. Okay, so basically this one we call it as the title of this browser, title of this website. If you want to change the title, you have title keyword. You have title keyword. Again, for each and every keyword, we have closing keyword that we must use. So title I want to set as a what I have to do. I will give some name. Okay. So the name is automation test. Okay. The title name I'm giving as automation test. Okay. The moment you refresh this browser, it is changed to automation test. Right. Similarly, you can add, if you want to add something to your header section, okay, you can use the header part. So after horizontal line, okay, you have this white space, right? Okay, this entire thing we call it as a document. Okay, so this including header and body, this white space we call it as a body. The upper part is we call it as head. Okay, so this entire thing we call it as a window. Header plus body we call it as a HTML window. Inside the HTML window we have header section and body section. If you want to do some modifications in the body section, so where we have to do is we have body section in the HTML. So again, for this, you will be having closing tag. Okay, inside the body section. Okay, for this body, entire body, I want to put some background color. Some pink. Okay, some BG color. Okay, if I refresh it, see, pink color is added. Okay, so for this body, you have added the background color. So this one we call it as a property. Okay, this body section property and its value. Okay, for this body, you have color pink color. It is a property and it is property value. Okay, we can also call it as attribute and its attribute value. This is one attribute and its value. Okay, so inside that I want to add some input box, some text box or some search box. If I want to add, how I can add? Okay, so to create the search box, you have tag input. Okay, but it doesn't contain any closing tag. So we have some type of tags, those doesn't contain any closing tag. It contains only opening tag. Okay, some tags doesn't contain any opening tag, it contains only closing tag. Those are also we will discuss. Okay, so here if I refresh it, input box will be created. Suppose if you want to put some spaces before this input box, okay, we have self-closing tags, BR. Okay, these are break line. Okay, some 2 lines of space I want to put. These are self-closing tags. Without opening, you can directly close the tag. See, I want to put some identifier to identify this particular input. Okay, so you have 2 types here. One is label. It contains the closing tag / label. So here you can give first name. Let's create some form here. So if you refresh here, see, first name is given to this box. Okay, if you want to link this input box and this label, these two are 2 different entities, right? 2 different lines of code. If you want to link, we have one for label for. Okay, we have 1 second. Label for. Okay, in the for property, you can give any property of this input. Okay, so again for this input, you can put some name to identify this. Some name equals to first name. First name label for you can give that name. Okay, these two will be linked. You cannot see any difference in the UI, but these are linked now. Okay, similarly, I want to create last name. Like first name, I want to create last name. And this is also, I give it as last name. Okay, now side by side, these will be created. Okay, if you want to create in a next line, this last name, what you have to do is just put break lines. It will break the lines means it come to the next line. Okay, so after filling first name and last name, I want to click on submit. Okay, I want to click on button, some button I want to create here. Okay, so for creating the buttons, we have two syntaxes. One is using input also we can create button, but type you must specify. Type equals to submit. Submit. So if you refresh here, see it is showing as the submit. So let me keep that. Okay, if you want to change the name of the submit button, okay, so you have one more property value. Okay, so let me give it as some sign in. Okay, what I do is this one I put it as password. This one I will put it as email or username. So you must have this knowledge, at least basic knowledge you should have to work with the automation testing, basic knowledge of HTML. Okay, so sign in. So when you refresh it, see. Okay, when you click on this button, you can perform. You can navigate to some page, or you can navigate to some like some operation you can perform. Okay, so I want to like put some more validations like gender, male or female. Okay, so before submit only, I will put these labels. Again, to create the checkbox or radio button, you have to use the input. Okay, properties you can assign any property, but the type must be, you have to specify type. Okay, type. What type of it? What type of input you want to create? Okay, let me create as radio. If I create as radio button is created. If you want to give some name, just put a label for it. Okay, so this is some mail. Okay, so here give the some name as to represent this radio button. So mail only. So this radio button is for mail. So refresh it. See, you can select the radio button. Okay, similarly, you can create for female side by side. Okay, so if you want to put some space between the, okay, so let me create it first. So label for female, I mean radio button for female. See, if you want to put some space between this element and this element, we have ampersand NBSP, non-breaking space. Let me use this. So let me try. Yeah, it is giving space, right? Non-breaking space means it won't break the next line. I mean, it won't come to the next line. It will put some space between the elements. Okay, so you can put some gender here. Gender. Okay, male or female. Okay, so similarly, I want to so here I have sign in button, right? I want to set the clear button, but I don't want to use the input box. I don't want to use the input type tag. So you can also create button. You can also create the button with another tag, that is the tag name itself, button. When you are using the button, it has closing tag slash button. So see, whenever you write some text between this opening tag and closing tag, this between opening tag and closing tag, so this we call it as a text, that tag text. So here, to represent the button, okay, if you want to give some name to the button, so here we are giving the name as value, as property, but here you can give as the text. So clear. Okay, so button will be created. Okay, so here, before submitting or clearing the button, okay, you have two buttons, right? So I want to put some country to select the drop down. I mean, some drop down to select the country. Sorry, some drop down I want to set to select some country. Okay, so if you want to create a drop down, you have one tag select. For select also, you have closing tag select. So the name itself is giving the meaning, right? Select means you can select the values from the drop down. Okay, so here drop down options we have to provide. To provide the drop down options, we have option tag inside the select. This is the sub tag of select. You cannot write directly outside of select. Slash option slash option. You can put some n number of options. So let me put some 5 options. You can put the country names. Okay, so here you can put some label country. Some country. So put some non-breaking spaces. Okay, option. Some India, US, Canada, China, and Australia. Okay, there are some 5 countries. So here, so if you refresh it, so here country also displaying. So I want to put that country in the next line. Yeah. So you can remove this country. You can select the country from this list. Okay, so by looking at this drop down, you have to like assume, okay, in the back end, okay, so they are using this select tag to display this. If I want to identify this element, which tag I have to use? Select tag, or its or select tag properties. You should not go and search for the input tag. If you identify this element, okay, after opening this inspect tab, okay, if you want to no focus mode, okay, set root folder, don't show it again. Okay, let it be. Cancel it. Okay, so suppose if you try to identify this select tag, okay, so by inspect you will it takes you to the same element, but sometimes you may not highlight it, it may not highlight. That time you don't like you should not go to this particular tag and you should not search for it. You have to search in the select tag only. Okay, select tag only. Yeah. Okay, so you have, suppose if you want to create a checkbox. Okay, checkbox. So for checkbox example, what we can take? Okay, some so we can have save password, some kind of show password kind of things we have, right? Okay, so let me put one checkbox after select. So let me put some break lines. Show password I want to put. So label is show password. Show password. Okay, so you want to create one checkbox. Okay, so when you check that, it will show the password. Okay, so here the input only we have to take to create the checkbox also, but the type should be checkbox. Okay, so here radio button. Okay, so checkbox show password. Label for show password. Okay, so if you create it, checkbox will be created. You can check it, uncheck it. Okay, this is for showing the password. So checkbox you can create like this. Radio button you can use input tag. See, so when you try to identify this element and if you try to click this radio button, okay, so while you are inspecting, you should not confuse. Okay, so you should not search for the radio button tag. Okay, it is a input tag clearly. Okay, you have to search for the input tag, but you should not check for the radio button tag. Like button tag, you might check for the radio button tag, but that you should not do. Okay. So by looking at the object only, you have to understand, okay, this is a select box. This is input only. Type is radio. This is input. Type is checkbox. Like that. Okay. So what else we have? What are the other types we have? Anyone tell me? Link, image. All these we have, right? Suppose I want to create some link. Okay, create some link. So to create the link, we have tag, anchor tag, anchor tag, a tag, a, not anchor. So we call it as anchor, but shortcut is a. It is also having closing tag, but here. So if you want to put some name to the link, some Google. Okay, let me refresh. So Google is created. This is the anchor tag now. But when you say link, okay, when we say link, when we click on that link, it has to open some page, right? It has to open some page. So if you want to put some link to this label, okay, here we'll have one property H reference, hyper link reference. https://www.google.com. Okay, this will be rendered as a link now. See, if you click on this, it will navigate to the link. Why it is not taking? Okay, there are four W's. Yeah, there are 4 W's. Okay, remove one W from the link. Okay, refresh. When you click on this link, it navigates to the Google. Okay, again, when you click on to open the new tab or new window, those setup also we can do using the events, JavaScript events. Okay, those also we'll discuss. So what else we have? We have covered link, button, okay, checkbox, list box, radio button. Suppose I want to add some image to the web page. Okay, add some image to web page. So we have image tag, img tag, img. Okay, it is a self-closing tag. No need to, if you want to specify, you can specify like this. Okay, we have src. Src means source, image source. Image source you have to give. Suppose I have some images on my desktop. So let me open my desktop. Go to users, desktop. Go to desktop. On my desktop, I have some images. Image 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Okay, so let me copy this location. On my desktop, put double slash instead of single slash. On my desktop, I have image. One image I will take. So this is the image. Okay, image 2, I want to insert. .jpg. So put some break lines. One more break line I will put. Let's insert it. If you refresh it, image will be added. See, image is added. Right? Okay, if you want to resize this image. So we have one pixels concept. We can specify the pixels also. Okay, so to make this image as smaller, we can put the pixels. And this entire document we can create into divisions. Okay, this entire document, if we want to divide into different divisions, that also we can do. We can have division tags. Okay, so we can divide into different divisions, and each division we can set the objects. Division concept also we have. Okay, so similarly, if you want to display the data, if you want to display the data in the form of table, okay, this is very, very important. Table. In the format of table, if you want to display. Okay, before image only, I want to put this table. So table some hierarchy, basically, like HTML, this HTML. Table also having some hierarchy. Okay, so you can have table tag, table. Okay, same like HTML. Table can have table header. Okay, to store the T head. We call it as table header. We call it as T head. T head. And also it contains, table contains columns, and under columns you will have the values, right? So values we store into the table body section, T body section. T body. Okay, so table headers, column names, table headers to represent the column names, TH we use. Okay, how many columns you want? That's you have to decide. I want to create a table with 4 columns. 4 columns. Okay, so now you have T headers, table columns, table header column. Column 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to add the rows, okay, so these are the columns. Okay, so for example, take the Excel file. Okay, like the Excel, you want to create the table. Okay, let me show it in the Excel file, then you will get some clarity. Okay, so here you want to create a table, okay, with 4 columns and 5 rows, like this. This is column 1. This is column 1. Okay, these are the rows. These are rows like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's put 5 columns. Okay, one column name I'm putting as serial number. Okay, so like that you have one table. Okay, if you want to create some table like this in a web page, how you can create? How you can create? Okay, so basically, if you observe here, this is also a row, right? This is also a row, and all these are rows again. All these are table rows. So column header, whatever the column headers containing, that is also a row. So which means, so these THs all are will be in the TR row. TR row. So you can have table row. One row you can have for your columns. Okay, only one row for columns. In the table head, you will have only one column, not more than one row only, not more than that. Not more than that. Okay, the first column name I want to give as serial number. Okay, like this. I want to create only 3 columns. So this is column 2 and this is column 3. This is 1, 2, and 3. There are 3 columns. Okay, so how many columns we have? Like suppose I want to create 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in the table body section, we have to create the rows. Okay, table header section, we have to create the columns, and the table body section, we have to create the rows. To represent the rows, we have TR tag, table row. How many rows you want? You want. Okay, slash TR. How many rows? I want 5 rows. 5. In each row, in this each row, how many data you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 columns of data you will have, right? To represent the data in each row, you have TD tag, TD, table data. Okay, how many table data you have? 4 data, right? 4. For each row, you have 4 columns of data. Serial number, column 1, column 2, and column 3. So this is very, very important. Okay, if you learn it properly, you can work with any automation test tool. For all automation test tools, so they just take the information of HTML page only. Okay, if you learn HTML, it will be easy to understand the HTML format and also read the HTML properties. Okay, so now first for each row, first column data you are representing with serial number. Okay, This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4th row, and 5th row. Okay. So if you refresh your browser, the table will be created. So here it is not showing the borders, right? Okay. If you want to set the borders, okay, so here in the table level, so you have to set up the property, okay, to set the borders. Okay, let me check in Google. Okay, set the borders to HTML table, columns, and rows. Okay, how to add borders to HTML. So here we can use, okay, see, if you want to use border, if you set border 1, okay, let's see what's happening. Border as 1, refresh it, see, it is added borders. Okay, so like this you can create the column. If you want to set some data, okay, name, okay, student name, okay, student phone number, course, if you want to set the columns you can create, right? In the header section, student name, phone number, or course phone number. See, so if you want to set the data, in the data section you have to set, okay, some RAM, course name, some Java, phone number, some random phone number, okay. Okay, here you can set some values, okay, some other name. Okay, so if you insert the data with the help of table rows, so that the data will be displayed into the table. Okay, so generally UI developers fetch the data from different sources and they will insert the data to these table rows. Okay, you can like create the table and you can insert the data like this. But when you are performing automation testing, sometimes we have to validate this table. Okay, in the phone number column, whether it is displaying phone numbers or not, you have to verify. In the course column, whether it is displaying the courses only or not, you have to display, right? So that time you have to fetch this data, phone numbers data or course data. How you will fetch? Without knowing this structure of this table, how we'll use the locator? Basically, we have locators to locate the element, right? Okay, locators we will discuss again. Okay, so if you know the if you know the background of HTML, background of this web page, then you can easily identify the elements and also you can easily work with the elements. Okay, so if you want to convert, if you want to add some divisions, okay, so first I want to put this username and password into some division. Okay, some division. Division can have closing tag. So this division name is user details. User details. Division name is user details. Okay, user name and user password are the user details. So I will put this division into, I will put these two into my division. This user details division. Okay, so I have one more division. This password also I will put over there. Password also I want to put here. Okay, this is one division. Okay, after that you are having some spaces. So this one Side by side also you can write. Okay, your tag side by side also you can write. There is no issue. Side by side you can write like this. Okay, so here, so in the body section, yeah, this is one division. Next, I have one more division. Okay, I want to just divide into some parts. This document only I want to divide into some parts. Okay, to store the gender, I want to create one more division. Okay, gender related things. Okay, country related things I want to store into some other division. Okay, show password. To store the show password, I want to use one more division. For clear and submit buttons, sign in buttons, I want to store into some other division. Okay, so to store the links, I want to create into some other division. And the table, to store the table, I want to store into some other division. Similarly, for image, also I want to store into some other division. Okay, here. Okay, so this is this division up to here. This division is for gender. Okay, so this division is for division name is gender. This division is country. So name is country. Country. So similarly, I have some password related division. Show password checkbox. Show password. For the readability purpose, okay, like I'm aligning this for readability purpose. Okay, similarly, I have one more division that is okay, submit and clear buttons. So division name is submit and clear or buttons. Okay. So for links, I have one more division. Name is links. Okay, we can create different divisions. Okay, nothing so in the web page nothing will happen. Okay, in the web page nothing will happen. The whatever the page you are seeing earlier, the same page only you can see here. If you see here, the same page only you can see. Okay, in the divisions. Okay, it's just giving some extra, like space between the divisions. Okay, when we add into divisions. Okay, so here, yeah, so this division is for table, some students details, some name, student details, table. Remove from here. Inside this, you can paste. Okay, so inside this division, we have table. So now you have image into some other division. Okay, so nothing will be changed in the UI. Some extra space will be added between the div. Okay, suppose if you want to add something to something in this place, this mouse pointer is there, right? Okay, so now what you can do is, okay, side by side, if you want to display, okay, divisions, you can give the width for each and every division, and you can remove the br tags. Suppose here, this table I want to show after this link. What I have to do after this division, I will remove break spaces. I want to give some NBSP here. Let's see. So it is coming back. Okay. So yeah, by default, it is taking a next line. Okay. So side by side also we can display the divisions instead of. So let me remove here. Let's see. No. So side by side also we can display using the divisions. Okay. We can give the. See, by default, it is occupying this entire width. Suppose if I want to put some border to the division. Okay, so let me check for that. How to set border to the div element, div tag. How to set a border for div tag. So we can use CSS property. Okay, style border thin. See, using which we can give the border also. So suppose for table, how much space it is occupying, if you want to check, you can give the border and you can give the name, give the color to that border also. Color also we can give. Okay, so here color. Okay, style, let me add solid border. Okay, for this style is different. Border width, border style, solid, border color, some black. Let me use this. So here, what you can do is, you can use like this, styles. Still not displaying. Okay, for division, it is not displaying. Yeah, see. So this table is occupied. This table is occupied entire page. That is the reason when you remove break line, it is not coming to this part. Okay, if you want to resize this border, okay, I don't want to occupy this entire space. Okay, I want to up to here only. I want to I want to occupy. I don't want to occupy this entire space. It is wasted, right? Okay, that also you can put the like pixels border width. You can use border width. This is also a property. Is not applying now. Okay, so some 20 pixel. Let's see. Okay, so it is applying for the border. So division width, if you want to resize the division width, so we can also search for that. Okay, how to specify division width. So let me check here how to set div tag width. Okay, width we can set using CSS property only, height, width, and max. Some properties are there. Okay, simply you can use height, width, 50%, 100%, like that. We have properties. Okay, so div tag width background color also we can give, and also width also we can specify in the document. Width also a property. Okay, let me use here. Let me check in the web page. See, it is minimized, right? If I use 25%. Okay, so divisions generally developers, HTML developers create divisions. Okay, so for this image also we can put the divisions. Okay, some like the same thing. Width also we can apply for this image. It is occupying this entire thing, right? Okay, so width want to give as some 50%. Height also we can specify of this image. Height also, width and height. Okay, 25%. Let me put it as 25. Not resizing. So height, let me resize the height also. Height 100 pixel. 100. Okay, let me put it as some 25. Height also. So these divisions we can basically resize. Where we are applying. So we are applying for the image only. Okay, what I do is not for the div tag. So I will apply this. I will apply this for image. See, okay, height 50 pixels and image also 50%. Still 200. Okay, so width, let me decrease to 25%. Okay, so if you want to, so this image, if you want to set this to this nearby, again for this division, excuse me, for this division, you have to set up some width, for this division. Okay, so this is 25. Let's take 25. 25, if we said it is decreasing rate, let me put it as 50. Refresh. Okay, it is putting 50, but when we like decrease the size of this division, the image is sinking, right? That should not happen basically. Image also sinking. That should not happen. So to fit into the div also we can have properties. Okay, if you remove break line here, okay, that image can fit into this side of this table. Okay, so still it is not coming up. Okay, somewhere it is not taking. Okay, so side by side also we can arrange basically. Okay, divisions. Okay, like that we can occupy this entire web page. So that is the reason if you open Flipkart or some other applications, Amazon or some other applications. Okay, you can see lot of divisions in the web page. Okay, so while traversing the document, okay, while see, so they occupy this entire page, right? Okay, not like one side. Okay, so all these are divisions. Okay, if you go to the background of so backend code of this HTML, so you can see lot of divisions here. See in the body section you have division. Again, if you go to say each division, you can see subdivisions. Okay, you can see lot of divisions here. All these are divisions. See, everything is arranged with division. Okay, see here inside frame also you can see Okay, inside frame also we can have different divisions. In the body section, don't use a script. We have script and style type of tags also. So nothing we do with the script and style. If you want to learn some HTML, that time only those are required. So in our automation testing, we don't use the script and style tags. Okay, so we have span tag. We have one more type of tag, that is span. Okay, if you want to add some colors to some text, suppose I have a text. So label I have, right? So inside the label, you have some text, show password. So by default, you cannot set some style to this show password using label tag. Okay, let me put style for the label. Okay, so where is our label? Some show password. Okay, here I have label style. So here style, if you want to put okay, styles for the text. If you want to set some style, let me check how to add style for the HTML text, HTML tag text. How to style an HTML tag, not tag inside the text. Styling HTML elements, use background color, that is fine. Use font family for the text. If you want to set some style to the text, okay, so you can use the font family. Okay, style, color, blue, style, font family, Vardhana, bold, Calibri, Times New Roman. Like that, we can set the font family. Suppose if I set the font family as Vardhana. So here for show password style, I will set it as Vardhana. So earlier it is showing just normal show password. So if you refresh it, see the size is increased. Okay. And if you want to make more beautiful, okay, if you want to add some CSS flavors to your text, okay, so we will use generally span tag. Inside the label tag only, we can use span, or you can use separately also. If you refresh, you can add more flavors to this text. So generally we use span to add more styles, to our text. You can find span tags for divisions for any object in a UI. Okay, labels. And also we have few more objects, list and unordered list. Okay, list object also we can create. Let me create that too. Okay, after that we'll close our session. Okay, I want to create the list. Okay, after the image, I will add some list. Where is our link? Google. Okay, so let me create some division. Some list object also we can create. Li / li. Some list. Okay, so list. So name is list only. List. Okay, some list if you want to create. Okay, let me put some borders, width and for the division. So width I will set it as some 15%. So let me go to see some list. Let me put some break line also after the list. This is the list. You can add the items for the list. Okay, list one. Some list you want to show. list. See, some list of items. Okay, so we have unordered list also. Okay, so if you want to order the list, sort the order. Okay, so you can use unordered list, order list, like that we have. One second. Unordered list and order list we have. You can create. Suppose if you want to create some text area, okay, there are 3 more important tags. So for this entire page, I want to set some header. Okay, I want to set some header. So before, okay, inside the body only, I want to set some header. We have different types of headers, okay, like H1, H2, H3, H4, like that, H6, up till H6 we have different headers. So how many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, some automation, test, planet. Okay, so same header. Okay, we have different headers. Let me show you. Okay, this is H2. This is H3. H4, H5, and H6. Headers. Okay, sometimes we can see headers also. Okay, to identify the elements, to fetch the data. So if you refresh, so here let me put some break line. Okay, all I have to do is, so I will put some property to the header, align center, style equals to align center. Okay, this property I will apply to every tag. Okay, so here let's, okay. So this is also I will align to center. When we use align center, style as align center, so it will aligns to middle. It is not applying here. So align center. So how to align header? This is correct on this, but let me check once again. How to align H1 tag to center in the body, in the page. How to center text header. So we have some property, align center only generally we use the set text hyphen align property to center. Okay, text hyphen align to center. So I just need to put text hyphen. Okay, so let me check whether it is working or not. Yeah, it is working. So I just missed the text here. Just let me put for all the headers. Okay, some headers you will get like this. So this is H6. Up to H1 we have, if you want to set some headers. So here, before sign in, like before sign in and clear, I want to put some not paragraph, text box to give the summary. Okay. So generally, if you want to put some huge text, we don't use the input type of tag. We use the text area tag. Okay, so where is clear and sign in we have. What I do is here I will create one more division. One more division here. So division name is text area or summary. Summary. So here this is summary only. Okay, here instead of show password I use summary. This is also summary. And type should be text area. Okay, you can use either text area tag or you can use input tag also. Instead of that, what I do is text area. Okay, type I will remove. Type I will remove. If you refresh, see, you can see what is here, div. Okay. Why it is showing the division breakline here? Summary label we have. This is fine. Something is missing somewhere. So text area name is okay. So here you have to close this. It has some closing tag. Okay. So if you refresh, you can see text area. You can write some summary. Okay. You can write some summary in different lines. But if you use, but inside password or inside username, you cannot split to that string. You cannot write in the next line. But in summary tag, you can set. You can set. Okay. Similarly, we have paragraph. If you want to put the huge paragraph, that time text area it won't support. Okay, let me put the paragraph at end of the page. Okay, so let me create one division for paragraph. So division for paragraph. So named division name paragraph. Okay, so when you want to create division, we have tag, p tag, paragraph tag. It is also having the closing tag. Okay, so here you can write your paragraph. I think it doesn't contain the closing tag, but let's see. Where is paragraph? P tag. Okay, so if you want to set some paragraph, yeah, it is showing here. Fuse paragraph if you want to display, yes, you can display with the paragraph. Use the text, some content I want to display. This use content. You can put it into the paragraph. See, this paragraph you can insert like this. Okay, getting or not? So here, two different, see, we are using different tags. Okay, so here, by looking at the tag name, you can differentiate few things. Here you have some divisions. You have multiple divisions. How you can differentiate multiple divisions? To differentiate the multiple divisions, basically HTML developers, they will set the unique identifiers, unique property and its value. Okay, properties they will add basically. So they will add name, ID, some ID like user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some ID. Okay, for gender, some ID they will put. Because by using ID also, they will apply some styles, some colors. Okay, so suppose if you observe this web page, Amazon website, if you observe here, see, all these are in same style, if you observe properly. Okay, so if they want to apply the same style for these all the elements, all the links, okay, generally they don't put no, for one by one element. For one by one element, they don't put. Okay, so they will apply. Okay, they will set some ID. Okay, some unique ID for all your elements, for all that links, and by using that ID, or by using that name, okay, they will apply the style for all the elements at a time. Okay, in the we have in the header section, we can also create script. Okay, here they will write the script, which script? JavaScript script tag. Okay, if they want to apply the style, they also have some style. Okay, if they want to apply some style for all the elements, okay, they will use style. So here, on what basis they can assign the style? Okay, how they will assign the style to these elements in the body elements? Suppose if they want to apply some style for this division, if they want to apply the style, okay, so by its country div in the style tag, so div they will put, okay, by its name they will access div dot, okay, by name. Okay, if they have class, they will use the class. If they have some ID, some country ID is country drop down ID is country 1234. Okay, so by ID they will apply some styles. Okay, how they are applying, let's see. See, so div they put the some curly brace. Okay, then they are applying the styles. Okay, so I want to put some style to particular country drop down. I want to add some thick borders for this country drop down. Okay, for this division. So using div tag. Okay, div tag. So they will apply the style. Okay, so for suppose let me take some other div tag style. Okay, border width and all I will set to my country drop down. So here you have to use like this, remove these things. Okay, style border. Okay, let me refresh it. Okay, let me check here how they are using it. Okay, text align. Okay, one by one property you have to mention. Border color black. Yeah, we can write in a single. We can write in a single line also, but why it is not taking? For country drop down. So style, this is fine. Okay, let me cut it and let me refresh it. For all it is applying. For all elements it is applying. But to differentiate, okay, so we have to use like this country 1234 only ID. This is the ID we are using. Only one font. So where did we apply? What this country drop down, right? User 12345. User details. For country we have used country 1234. Yeah, the same one only we are using. Okay, for this one, it will apply. Okay, so how to apply? Okay, so let me search this one. How to apply to a tag, how to apply a style to a tag based on its ID, based on its attribute. Okay, applying CSS style to a specific ID. So here in the style, they will add, okay, so here they don't have any ID they are using, but let's see somewhere. Okay, so no need to use that div tag also, but we can use div tag as well. Okay, so let me remove this div here, but let's see. No, still not happening. So we can use div like this. Okay, let me check the other pages. CSS selectors, HTML elements you want to style. Okay, 5 categories. ID selector. Okay. Okay. So we can apply with the tag also. That is the use. We also use the same. See, if you take the paragraph, how they are using the paragraph. If the paragraph is having some ID, p hash para1 they will put. Okay, if it is having some class, C, how they are adding class. Similarly for ID also, they will put the for ID also they will put some tag. We can apply with the tag also. Okay, so let me do one thing. So instead of ID, okay, here let me use as class. Okay, so here div dot, if I put a dot, it takes as a class. Let me check now. No, still it is not applying. Okay, this is, I will check and I will let you know. So basically, so they will put some identifiers, some attributes and properties and values. Okay, two attributes and values to these each and every tag. Okay, to apply the CSS styles, and also sometimes for the JavaScript validation, they will put the styles to the HTML elements. Okay, so whenever they add some ID, they will put the ID as unique ID. Okay, sometimes they generate the random IDs. Okay, those keep on changing at runtime, but they will try to put the unique IDs every time, unique names, unique IDs, and also to apply the styles to these elements, they will use the CSS Bootstrap. It is a separate package in HTML. Okay, that in that package they have some classes. They use those classes. Okay, using class property, they will use those classes, and also they will put some other extra fields. Okay, to differentiate and to identify these elements for their purpose. Okay, what we will do? We will also do the same thing. We will use the same properties to identify these elements. Suppose if I want to select the select box, if they put some name to it, so we will also use the name property to identify this select box. Country select if they put. We will also use the same name to identify this text. Okay. So based on these properties, we have the locators. Okay, let me show you that diagram. Then I will stop the session for today. So here we have this one, yeah. So these are the locators to locate the element. So these are the locator methods basically. Whenever you want to use ID method, so you have to take the this particular Suppose if you want to identify this list box, okay, if it has some ID, suppose if it has some ID equals to country 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, if it has some ID, you can directly use ID method and you can directly pass this ID value. Suppose if you want to use name method, you can directly use the name country select and you can pass it to this method. Class name, suppose if it has some class equals to some style, some Vardhana class, some Vardhana class. If it has unique, so whenever we have unique values only, we have to take. If you suppose if the class is applying for other elements, you cannot use the class because it is not unique. It will give more than one element. Again, your executor, your Selenium executor confuses which element has to click or which element has to set the value. If it has some unique value, then use the class name. Suppose if you have some tag, unique tag, suppose in this page we have image and link are the unique tags. Image is some unique tag here, image. You can use the tag name, you can directly pass the tag name. Link text. So it is for only link text and partial links. Suppose if you want to identify some link with its text. So here we have link as Google link. So where is our link? So this is the link. If you want to identify this link with its name, Google, you can use the link text and Google you can pass to that method. Partial link text. So instead of passing the entire text, you can also pass partial text up to GOO or up to GLE or OOG. Okay, OGL. Like that you can pass. But you cannot pass GGL like that. Okay, GGL or ELG or LGG, like that you cannot pass. You can pass only partial text. It is a sequence of characters you have to pass. Partial link text. Okay, partial text you can pass. So CSS and XPath, these two are very, very important. To use CSS and XPath, if you are unable to identify with ID, whenever you are using ID, you are getting more than one element. Whenever you are using name, again you are getting more than one element. Class name, more than one element. Tag name, again one element. So link test and partial link test are these two are different. It's for only links. Okay, so we can directly. So generally we will have links with unique names only. We can easily identify. Okay, these two. Okay, we'll leave it for these two. But whenever you are trying to identify with ID name, class name, or tag name, that time you 99.9% you will get more than one element. Okay, in very rare cases we will get exact one element. In that case, we have two more methods. One is CSS. Okay, CSS selector. So generally, what are CSS? CSS are nothing but whatever the properties you are assigning here. Okay, these we call it as CSS. Then so generally ID, class, ID and class are the CSS. Okay, so using CSS, we can write some expression, CSS expression. How to write that we will discuss later. Okay, using CSS expression also we can identify. Okay, using ID, class, and also with other expression. So if you are unable to identify the CSS by using CSS also, if you are unable to identify, so we have one more approach, XPath. Okay, how to use these locators and how to write the CSS path and XPath. So we will discuss tomorrow. So if you want to understand, if you want to use CSS and XPath, you should have the basic knowledge of HTML. Okay, without this knowledge, you cannot understand those CSS and XPath. Okay, so let me stop recording.